Markets are an important part of the economy. They allow a space where governments, businesses, and individuals can come by and sell their goods and services. But that's not all. They help determine the pricing of goods and services and inject much needed liquidity into the economy. Acknowledging this fact, the Nasarawa state government under the administration of Governor Abdullahi Sule has placed top priority on ensuring traders in the state have conducive environment to carry out their businesses, hence the establishment of the Nasarawa State Market Management Bureau. On issues of the moment on ZTTV today, let's take a peep into the office of the Director General of this bureau to find out how traders will key in to this new development.
Like the name implies, management. We manage all government build markets. Of course, there are other private markets where ownership and control is within those individuals. But the ones that are built by government to a very large extent, we manage them. We regulate activities. We ensure that we manage, as you know, the market is quite complex. It's only when you are there you get to know what and what is in the market. So we manage market.
All of the markets built by the
All the markets built by the Nasarawa state government.
That would be a huge responsibility, I'm imagining.
Very, very huge responsibility.
Do you have an idea of how many markets you have in Nasarawa state?
We have, I can begin to count them, but I know I need to know the number offhand. But let's start from Karu. The Karu International Market is here. We have the Aso Market, Masaka Market. In Kefi, we have 2 markets. The neighborhood market, we have the modern market. So we're talking of 5. In Akwanga, we have the modern market and the neighborhood market. That's 7. In Lafia, we have the Lafia ultra modern market. We have modern market. We have a neighborhood market. That is 10. In Nasarawa, we have a modern market. That is 11. Now there are ongoing market constructions. Ongoing. We have in Wamba. It has reached an appreciable level. We also have in Away appreciable level. We also have in Nasarawa an appreciable level. There are the ones that are about to also take off. Doma is there, Kokona is there, and I think one other one, I think about 3. So totaling more than 10, but ongoing, and about 7 or more completed. So the tax is much
huge.
Exactly.
Now, but I would be wondering, and I know that this question would have been answered by the executive governor himself, but being the DG, I'm sure you share in his vision. That's why he appointed you. So
exactly.
Why the choice of, remodeling markets and giving them prestigious look? This is very rare with most governments. You see, the markets or traders are the least considered, citizens of any state, let alone wanting to remodel markets to standard for them to even occupy.
Well, this is a very good one. Our studies, the executive governor is from a private sector, so he appreciates this little thing that you think is nothing. It is something. Now you can see how he is giving an ordinary trader a sense of belonging, giving them a befitting place to do business. From there, the government generates revenue. You might be seeing the market as something, nothing, but revenues are generated from get takings, rents, service charge, and what have you. It goes to government, and that's what the government uses in doing, giving back to the people. And the trader is happy, doing his business in an environment that is friendly, where you have the shops well built, circulation is, well spaced. You can move around within the market with ease. You can have where you need to have a refuse. They are, they are designated in one area. They are, you transport them. You move the waste, periodically without having to leave them to become unpleasant to the traders. All those things are within the government build markets, and that's why I told you, management is huge. It's not just about collecting their revenue, but even their welfare is paramount. So you can see the governor has that idea, and the trader that you think is maybe somebody who has maybe a capital of 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 is given a sense of belonging, and is given back to the government, and the government in return. So it's more or less a revolving thing.
This is more like your taxes working for you.
Exactly.
Here in Nasarawa State demonstrated.
Okay, exactly.
Now, but management of the markets, it's going to be huge. I am really wondering, when you say market,
exactly,
a market setting, how have you put in structures to be able to ensure that this sanity the government is putting in would ensure that it reflects in the attitude of traders and of course market management as well?
Well, thank you very much. You see, why I say the management of market is quite complex is because we all know that the market is, I want to use this word, is somewhere that is an informal setting where you have all sorts of people. You have to manage them, people with different attitudes, different ideas. You have to also be patient with them. Every trader with the smallest, slightest either complaint or an issue will want your attention. So it's somewhere that you have to be very patient. Now, you see, for every market, we have a manager who manages, who also reports back to the DG. And that is why you can see there are times you see me in the Karu office where I will sit with the manager, attend to issues. There are times when even the traders will have to come, we'll sit down, we'll discuss and iron out issues. Sometimes I'll have to be in cafe. I get feedback from the manager, and I have to also be there myself. So that is how it works. The manager is there, he has people under him, the task force in the market, the security in the market, the leadership of the traders are also there. We work together in synergy to ensure the management is hitch-free.
Wonderful. And then the issue of, say, costs. If a place becomes beautiful, the fear most times is, will these markets, are they usually affordable after the government builds them to this reputable standards?
So now I want to tell you in confidence that the rent that a trader pays, I am telling you this, is the lowest in the whole country. The rent that a trader pays in Nasarawa in government built markets, you can't find it anywhere in the country.
Wow.
Go to Kefi neighborhood market. There's a rent you pay as low as 50,000.
Wow.
A warehouse less than 100,000. Go to the state capital. There are shops that go for less than about 20,000, 30,000. So it's as low as that. So I'm trying to tell you, government build shops, as beautiful as they are not scary.
Price-wise.
Price-wise. You can see the aesthetics is there, it's quite friendly to the people. There's no how you will see the market, you will love it. When you go in there, and when you're privileged, you're fortunate to get an allocation in the shop. It does not scare you. You do your business, and at the end of the year you pay. It's not too much.
Wonderful. So, but I've noticed that a market, a neighborhood market, which used to disrupt the roadside, that's Ado Market.
Yes, Masaka.
It's been, no, Ado.
Okay, Ado.
Ado Junction. The popular Ado Junction that usually causes gridlock when civil servants mostly who live down here, the congestion now becomes a difficulty passing through.
Exactly.
Recently, we just seen that, a remodeling is going on, a beautiful structure, and we found that is a project from the Nasarawa State government, right?
But the remodeling, it is done, it is a local government initiative.
Wow.
Exactly.
So even the state government permits the local government to have such initiatives?
And they can, yes.
Wow.
The local government can, run markets, they can build markets and parks.
Wow.
They can also do that.
Wow.
Exactly. I think they are copying from the state government.
Really? And that's why they say a good head will always provide very good parts of the body.
What the governor has done
sure.
in almost all the local governments, and and there are some that are ongoing. So I think it's only normal that local government will begin to see how they can,
also pick up and
exactly.
That's laudable. So let's talk generally now. What would be your advice to now your counterparts, if there are in other states? Because I think this is a relatively new innovation, a beautiful market. But if there are in other states, and those other states who you think could take a key from this, the way you smile makes me know that you're making some good money for Nasarawa State here. So we're already thinking inward as Nigerians. What would be your advice generally to states?
For states, I know for states like in the north here, for states like Kaduna, I've keyed in. For states like Bauchi, I know there's an agency that is also saddled with responsibility of managing markets. Plateau is there too. I know there used to be, then they just Metropolitan Main Market Board, I think it is still there that manages the market. I want to believe that you can see towns are growing, they are becoming bigger, and there's a need to segment areas that are meant to be markets. So I want to advise, I know a lot of states will begin to look at the importance of having a market where you don't allow markets to spring up anyhow, and is of essence to the government, because when you build markets, you should expect something will come in. So I want to advise those states who have not keyed in, they can also do same, because it's good. In the long run, the state will smile, and it's exactly what we're doing
in Nasarawa State under the bureau.
Exactly.
All right, so the very last final one, we are particularly interested in women.
Exactly.
And the women are most times the traders. Market unions from over time has been, market management rather, have been known for exploitation of gullible, illiterate traders, mostly women, who they refer to in the African setting as the vulnerable members of the society. How does your setup, the new setup now, ensures that these unions don't exploit the women in the market, or taxes, multiple taxation and all of that, which eventually ends up to affect the prices of commodities in such markets, making the consumer the culprit at the end of it?
Well, thank you very much. Unfortunately, like you have said, when you find people who such things affect, usually are the women. And unfortunately, women, I don't know, maybe they tend to, they get scared, and I don't know, they are usually the targets, unfortunately. But for our markets, and as much as possible, we try to educate the traders, particularly women, that the authority, the market authority, are the ones managing the market. Whatever dealings they have got, even to do with their leadership, let them fall back to us. We will advise them. We will even be the ones to show them, look, this is your leadership. They can channel your program. We will even be able to tell don't go to social place, go to your leadership. You understand? We manage them, so we work in synergy with the leadership of the market. So as much as possible in our markets, we do not allow either unnecessary people coming in to take advantage of women. Usually we know women are usually at the receiving end when it comes to such things, and that is why as much as possible we try to see that women are not exploited.
Are you really easily accessible, or is there a channel, is there a help desk, maybe say a line that from Nasarawa Bureau where you can be reached, or your officers who...
Let me start with you.
All right.
Have you met me before when you called me?
Certainly not.
Not. You called me and I picked your call, right?
Very well.
I am telling you, even the smallest trader has my number in the market. And if they have issues, they call me, I pick my calls. So I am usually very, very accessible to the traders. I do not have problem with traders, and I have no reason why I should not be accessible. If the governor have appointed me to head the markets, I see no reason why I should not be around for the traders or accessible to the traders. So I'm usually very accessible. You are a living witness.
Sure, I can attest to that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thanks for having you.
And for the enlightenment.
And thanks for having me too.
Well, that was the Director General of the Nasarawa State Market Management Bureau, Dr. Yakubu Ahmed Ubangari, letting us into the laudable plans of the Bureau aimed at boosting social economic activities and the standard of living of the people in Nasarawa State. The traders not left out, especially the women. After all, they say, there's dignity in labor. Although, as we may have heard, the Nasarawa State government has taken to improving the market to effectively serve the people. Recently, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC team, visited the Masaka market in Nasarawa State as part of its mandate. We caught up with the team lead to find out why they made the visit. Let's take a listen.
My name is Bola Dale Adeyinka. I am the Director, Surveillance and Investigations, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC.
Wow. So what does this department do?
As the name is, we're responsible for the enforcement and investigation arm of the Commission. We're also responsible for complaint resolutions and dispute resolutions, resolution of consumer complaints as well. We're also responsible for conducting market infractions, investigations into market infractions, and also to ensure that we promote competition and consumer protection.
Wonderful. So, but in line with that, you go out to see the reality on ground in markets physically, if I understand your explanation. And all of it is in line to ensure that the consumers are not ripped off. The traders also have a very conducive environment to do business in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So recently you went to Masaka Market.
Yes.
What's the interest?
Yes, you would, everyone is aware in Nigeria, food pricing and market pricing has been on the increase in a very concerning manner. We're all concerned about high food prices. Nigeria, as you are aware, it's basic food items that most households are able to afford now. So that necessitated our inquiry into the reasons for the high food prices in food markets. And we were very much, we targeted major food markets. And as you're aware, Masaka Market is a major food market within the Abuja Nasarawa environment. So it was also a key entry point for supply of major food items from farm to the market.
Okay, so from your findings, are there any things we need to get worried about with the Masaka Market's composition, for instance?
Yes, based on our initial surveillance work across some identified food markets, we discovered that there were a lot of issues that were locking the markets. And so the Commission was out to unlock the markets and ensure that food supply, which is a major ingredient for fair pricing, once supply can be available and access to the market is also unhindered, naturally, based on the dynamics of supply and demand, prices will be low. So we were on that inquiry mission, a fact-finding mission, to be able to identify what is locking the markets. We also were able to gather from surveillance that there were unions and cartels in the markets, and those were part of the cost of those are part of the factors for the high cost of food prices in our markets. So we needed to engage at the 3 key levels of stakeholders in the market. The first being the market executives and the unions. Every food product in the market, we discovered, has a union that is regulating the supply of the food item in that market. So we had engagement with the market executives. We also had engagement with the sellers themselves, the traders themselves, on their challenges and what are the issues that is responsible for the high food prices in the market. And then we had also interviews with customers who are bearing the brunt of the cost of food, the high cost of food products in the market. And the investigation was at 3 levels. The inquiries were at 3 levels. And we had very interesting discoveries during the site or investigation. This is important because in conducting some of our investigations, we have to go to the locals in co. We have to visit these markets. We have to interact with the stakeholders. We have to get first-hand interview reports from the stakeholders, and also to see how the market itself is working by our personal assessments and physical visitations to the market. So that's why we went to Masaka Market. And not only Masaka Market, at least in the Abuja, we had also identified Goza markets as some of those large food markets. And our visit was on the market day, because most of these food markets are alive only on the market days. And that's why we have the interactions of both the suppliers, the middlemen, the traders, and also the consumers who likely patronize these food markets.
Well, you have a lot of work to do then, because I hope that you're going to visit a lot more market to ensure that these things are stemmed right from the root. Now, but beyond that now, having visited and then having had this first-hand knowledge, how would that impact on the prices being reduced or being some reasonable for consumers to be able to afford?
Yes. Well, one of the findings from this visitation, which is just the first phase of it, were to also, the second phase was to have meeting with policy stakeholders that can help unlock the structural barriers to the market. And what do we mean by structural barriers? The market itself has its peculiarities that makes it difficult for access into the market, especially from suppliers' end. There are a whole lot of farmers and suppliers and who would like to bring their products to the market. But because the way the market is structured, there is no access road, there is no landing bay, there is no loading bay, and because of that, there is so much cost that is added on, in that particular market. When a trailer of product, let's say yam products, arrives, he parks far away from the market because there is no space in and around the market to offload those yams. And then the purchasers, or who are now the wholesalers in the market or the traders in the market, will have to convey using wheelbarrow and pay like 300 naira per wheelbarrow per quantity of 100 yam tubers just to move it within the market.
That's increasing customer.
That is increasing the customer, and the customer. This is just for wheelbarrow. We're not talking about the loaders and offloaders. Then the wheelbarrow also has to offload again. So the structural barriers are what only policymakers can. So we've engaged our first meeting by inviting everyone, including the chairman of the local government area, to come and listen to the findings. And we were at the meeting able to make some directives, joint directives on how to begin to have conversations on dealing with the structural barriers. There is also the issue of multiple taxes that are being collected at different levels by different stakeholders in the market. Our concern is the justification for those taxes. What are you collecting it for? For example, there is a tax for sanitation that is collected per seller or trader in the market. Yet, a lot of them complain that there are no sanitary utilities in the market that they can access, especially toilet facilities and all of that. And again, that the market remains unclean even though they pay these taxes. So some of these things are also part of consumer welfare because it affects and impacts the quality of the products that are being sold in the market. So there are also taxes that they don't even know why they collect them. They just pay it. You just pay and you are given a ticket and all of that. So we're trying to also ensure that those taxes are streamlined in a manner that, because at the end of the day, whatever tax you put to the trader, he transfers to the consumer, and that is by increasing the products, So it's also important to unlock the tax structure and be able to ensure fair taxes that will lead to fair pricing of the products in the market.
Wow. Now, if Nigerians knew that the government has even put in place an agency or a body to regulate these things for the enjoyment of the citizen, now why would we blame government at each point we get to the market and see things not working? What would be your assurance to consumers that yes, you are out to work, and working is to ensure that everyone gets an equitable and even pricing at the end of the day?
Yes, we're happy to inform the nation about the effort of government in establishing a Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, a dual agency that protects businesses and also protects consumers. So by virtue of that mandate, it helps us to bring together stakeholders. And this particular agency at this time, under the leadership of the current acting executive vice chairman, Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, who is the substantive executive commissioner for operations, he's very much focused at ensuring that the mandate of the commission, particularly with consumer protection and ensuring fair food pricing in our market, is a deliverable mandate. Consumers can hold the FCCPC accountable to protect their interest at ensuring that there is fair pricing of the products in the marketplace, both for not just consumers, but for also the farmers, the traders, the businesses, the entire value chain of this food market.
Are there mechanisms to maybe report or seek redress if how some of these market issues or buyer-seller issues can actually turn? Are there mechanisms for reporting and then getting redress from the commission?
Oh yes, there are several channels. We have both from the phone. You can call our hotlines. You can also send an email. You can walk into our offices across the nations. You can go by way of our portal, complaint portal on our websites. You can even send a letter, handwritten letter, and you can come in person as well. You can send mails. There are so many channels to reach out and to give us not only complaint but also intelligence that can help us to work and ensure that you are protected, at least within the market space in Nigeria.
Well, for ZT Communications corporate social responsibility to the nation would allow you the opportunity, even though it's advertorial, to maybe let us at least for the phone number, the hotline, when Nigerians can call and then maybe seek redress or even give tips on what to go. So if you have them handy,
yes,
could you give us those hotlines?
Thank you very much, at least for the social responsibility to give the hotlines. The hotlines are as follows: 080 5600 2020 or 080 5600 3030. Those are the hotlines and they are working 24/7. We also have our website, www.fccpc.gov.ng. That's our website, and you can easily make a complaint to the commission via the website.
Your last advice to us Nigerians generally as we continue to enjoy our rights and obligations?
Yes, let's insist on our rights. Insist, demand and insist on your rights. And where those rights are not respected, please complain to FCCPC. Just a phone call, SMS or text messages to those hotline numbers, or an email to our website. You can even contact us at contact also. Just send an email to contact at fccpc.gov.ng, and we will be able to respond to your complaints or intelligence.
Thank you so much for granting us this interview.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, did I hear her say we should stand up for our rights? Yes, it's our rights. Let's ensure to enjoy them. I'm Queen Kundi, your host, asking you to join us again next time for another enlightening edition of Issues on ZTTV. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be the first to know when we return. Thank you and bye for now.